mathematicians. Today we're talking about subtracting fractions from whole numbers. And before we get to that, I want to explain about adding fractions with whole numbers. So let's say we have 1 plus 3/4. 1 plus 3/4. Well, just a reminder here that here we have a whole number and here we have a proper fraction. And so 1 plus 3/4 is really the same as 1 3/4. So when we're adding a proper fraction to a whole number, we really just don't even need that plus sign, if you think about it. It's the subtracting part that gets a little bit more complicated. Now, real quick, if you have 2 plus, let's just say, 5/4, then you can see here we have an improper fraction. The numerator is greater than the denominator. So one approach to solving this is you can turn this improper fraction into a proper fraction, a mixed number. 5/4 is the same as 1 and 1/4. So 2 plus 5/4 is the same as 2 plus 1 plus 1/4, which is 3 and 1/4. But now let's get to our main topic, which is subtracting fractions from whole numbers. Let's say I have 1 minus 2/3. Now, typically in school, the way they teach this is they want you to, and this is a perfectly fine method, is they want you to convert the whole number and the proper fraction into fractions with a common denominator. And how do we do that? Well, we first start by taking this whole number and making it 1/1, because any whole number, so let's just say 3, is the same as 3/1. So you take the whole number and you make the denominator 1, and that's the same as the whole number. I think we all remember that. So we have 1/1 here, and we have minus 2/3. But we don't have a common denominator, so the way to make it a common denominator, I don't know if you've already learned this, but you're going to multiply the denominators is usually the easiest way, and that gives you 3. So because 1 times 3, 1 times 3, and then, actually, wait, let's not do it that way. Let's convert this to a denominator of 3, and let's convert this to a denominator of 3, and it already is a denominator of 3, so we can keep it as 2/3. But to make 1/1 have a denominator of 3, whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator, so we do times 3, and so it equals 3/3. So 3/3 minus 2/3 equals 1/3. Now that's one approach. I am going to tell you a little bit of a shortcut that I prefer. Let's say you have 1 minus 2/3. Well, all you're going to do is do this crisscross thing where you multiply the denominator of the fraction that is being subtracted from the whole number. So here we have 3 times 1. But multiply there. And then you get 3. And then you keep this denominator, 3. And then you just do minus 2/3. You keep the fraction that's being subtracted the same, and it gives you the same equation. It's just faster. I went through that pretty fast, so let's do some other examples. Let's say I have 4 minus 2/5. What is 4 minus 2/5? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 4 times 5. I'm going to multiply, well, let me keep that there. I'm going to multiply 4 times 5, and that's going to give me 20. And then I keep this denominator, 20/5. Then I subtract 2/5, and my answer is 18/5. And you can see here this is an improper fraction. You can, if you want, turn it into a mixed number if you want, which would be, let's see, 3 and 3/5. I don't have enough room to write. And you can use any method you want to convert it to a mixed number. But for me, this is how I do it, and I think it's just a nice little shortcut. Let's do some more examples. How about 5 minus 2/3? 5 minus 2/3, well, we're going to multiply 3 times 5. We get 15. We keep the denominator, so it's like copy and paste this over here. 15/3 minus 2/3 equals 13/3. There we go. And let's do one more example. How about in pink? Let's do pink. Let's do 6 minus 5/6. 6 minus 5/6. What is that? Well, we are going to take 6 times 6. That becomes 36 over 6. Because remember, we copy paste. We put that under this, under the numerator that we've just multiplied by the denominator of the fraction that we are subtracting. We subtract the 5/6. What do we get? We get 31/6. Now, let me give you a problem to solve. Can you do this problem? 3 minus 2/3. Now think about the steps. Now, if you went about it doing it this way, where you multiplied 3 times 3, and you got 9 over 3, because you used this denominator, and then you subtracted 2/3, and then you got as an answer 7/3, then you would be correct. And maybe you went a step further, and you said, okay, 7/3 is equal to 2 1/3. If you got that, then you would also be correct. All right, mathematicians, until next time, I hope you found this helpful.